In this video, we're going to be talking about safety considerations before you start a lab or experiment. It is important that you know the locations of all safety equipment like the fire extinguisher, fire blanket, eye wash stations, and any possible exits. Loose clothing and jewelry can be dangerous in the science lab. Jewelry should be removed and sleeves should be pulled back, shirts tucked in order to prevent accidents during the science lab. Open-toed shoes are also not permitted while conducting labs. This is to protect your feet and toes in the event of an accident. Students with long hair must have their hair tied back and entirely out of the way during a lab or experiment in order to prevent accidents from occurring. You should also keep your work area clean and free of clutter throughout the experiment. This means at the beginning of this experiment you should take nothing into the lab besides a pencil and anything that you need to write on. You should leave your binder and all other items at your desk before you go into a lab. Throughout the lab, don't let clutter pile up. Continue to keep your lab area nice and neat in order to prevent accidents from occurring. Read all lab procedures before beginning a lab. That means that before you start the lab that you should have every one of the procedures read so that you know exactly what you're going to be doing when you get to future parts of your lab. If you don't understand any of the lab procedures, you need to ask your teacher before continuing. If you don't have permission to do an experiment, don't do it. Unauthorized experiments can be risky and dangerous because your teacher and those around you may not know the risks that they need to be watching out for during the lab that you're conducting. You may not begin a lab unless the teacher is present. You have been given permission to do so. There may be further instructions that you may need to be given before starting the lab to keep you from dangerous situations. Also, before starting a lab, you need to select the proper eyewear. Goggles must be worn anytime there's a substance, heat, or glassware being used in the lab. Goggles or safety glasses should be worn covering your eyes completely, not on your forehead, not around your neck, and not laying on the table beside you. If you wear prescription eyewear, goggles will completely cover your glasses, so both should be worn during experiment. Otherwise, safety glasses may fit your needs. Please consult with your teacher to select the appropriate safety eyewear before conducting lab experiments.